Party Nerd. I am Cookie. I ended up going shopping again, but this was okay because it was to Second and Charles. After the book adventure, I had actually put some books into what would be, I guess it was the used whenever you get the store credit. So technically I didn't pay anything for these books. I just did trade-ins because I went through my bookshelves and there's a couple that I had like 10 years ago that I really liked and now no longer like. I'll call it early chick lit phase where there's good ones and bad ones. So I traded them in and these are what I got. They have a really nice graphic novel section and I really like this Marvel series where they go through some of the classics. I have Pride and Prejudice. I don't know if I have them around here. What do I have? Pride and Prejudice. I think another one of Jane Austen's, and then I saw this one of Ozma of Oz. And I think what's really good with this one, I wasn't a huge fan of Ozma of Oz, at least the movie format. I think it was in the 80s, but they were able to give character continuity with this. So they have the Wizard of Oz, Ozma and Oz, and they also have the Marvelous Land of Oz. So there's a little set of these, and I thought it was really interesting. I will just flip to something colorful, if I can find something somewhat colorful, so you can sort of see the animation style. It was pretty good. I actually did flip through most of this, and it was quite an enjoyable read. You will also have seen in the book adventure that they have a free bin out front, and after I'm done shopping there, I sort of pick through it and see if there's anything good. And I got the Dresden Files book 2 for free. And it matches my other ones. That was actually pretty good. This is by Jim Butcher, and it's Full Moon, book 2 of the Dresden Files. I'm only about halfway through the first Dresden File. I'm not going through it as quickly as I thought I would, but it is rather enjoyable, so I thought that would be nice to be able to just sort of go into the next one. From other books, hauls in previous past, you will know that I love Ursula Heggie, and I hadn't seen this one. This is Children and Fire. I'll just do a quick little blurb. Though more than, oh wait, that's just it. Tells the story of the single day that will forever transform the lives of the town people in Bergdorf, Germany. I do really love her books. She usually hits them around World War II, and they're very interesting. So, $4.99. That was a pretty good deal. And I have most of hers in hardback, so that made me happy. Matchy, matchy, matchy. Oh, heavens. Let me get the one that I can pair up with this. They had bins towards the back where if you bought one, you got one free. I got The Brief and Frightening Reign of Phil by George Saunders. I don't know anything about this one, and it looked really interesting, and I did like the cover design. It was really cool. Basically, there's a world and a person, only one person can inhabit it, and this is the reign of Phil. And if I recall, yeah, there was little jump outs and illustrations. It just looked like a clever book, and oh, here's another illustration. That looks cool. It just looked interesting. I've heard nothing about this, and it was essentially $2 if we were to divide it in half. Another one. This is Writing Jane Austen. I love these. The last couple have let me down. I really hope this one doesn't. So this one just looks like this writer has to go and tell the author that her work is no good, but it's actually Jane Austen. So it sounds like a sort of time travel twist. This was written by Elizabeth Aston, sorry, and she wrote Mr. Darcy's Daughters. If I didn't like it, I'll say it was the free one. But that last one burned me really bad, and I'm like, should I? Shouldn't I? Should I? Shouldn't I? And I put it down a couple times, and then finally my mom was like, just get it, and then say it was the free one if it sucks. And then I'll just trade it back. I hope it doesn't come to that. Anne Brashares, My Name is Memory. I actually already read this one. I mean, when I got it, and I've already read it since then. This was actually the first one I picked up. This book was actually really interesting. I'm going to have to research it slightly more because it feels like there should be more coming. But this was written in 2010. I think I saw it was 2010. That feels like a long time, and that there should have been another by now. Yep, 2010, and it was so good. I stayed up till 2 a.m. reading it, and I got to that last effing chapter. I'll abbreviate that one. And they did it. They did it again. It was like completely almost wrapped up, and let's leave a cliffhanger. Oh, God. Why do people do this? I'm going to make a rant on this, so I don't want to talk too much about it, but it leaves it open. See, even Knucklehead doesn't like it. You don't like it either? No, he doesn't like it. Oh my goodness. We have to edit this part. Alright, let's try to finish this up. So it was really good. Loved the characters. Loved the flow of it. Basically, the person who says my name is Memory was the main character. Daniel. Yay, I remembered. You guys know I always forget. And Daniel essentially remembers everything, and he's lived since around the 400s. And so he can remember every one of his lives. And there's always been a girl in one of those lives, a couple of them, and something usually tragically happens to her. So in this last one, he's hell-bent to make it work out and fix things and make sure everything's okay. Fabulous. So many interesting parts to this. I'll probably do another review on this where I can do a little bit of a spoiler one in case you have read it, because I want to see what those of you who have read it have thought of it. I really loved this book. I guess it had closure. I just feel like I need more closure. If it's a trilogy, which is the rumor that I've read on Goodreads with this, fine. Just end your books, people. Don't do the cliffhangers. Speaking of cliffhangers, let's go on to this one. Serpent's Kiss, Witches of East End novel. This is the second. I don't know if I even remember the first one. How terrible is that? I'm sorry, it's really late and I've worked since 7 a.m. Just Witches of East End. How obvious is that? So this one is the sequel to the book. I think I did it in my last sort of mini review. I got about an eighth of the way through it, and it's pretty good. I mean, this was the one they were just sort of relaxing. You don't have to really invest much thinking into. These are my sitcom books. If you watch sitcoms, I don't watch TV, but that would be my equivalent of it. And that was Melissa Dela Cruz, and I think I got that through Amazon. And it was actually a really good deal. It was like, only 4 left and it's $5. And I was like, yay. And I think the third one's coming out around Valentine's Day. So I'm going to pace that one a little slower so that if it does the cliffhanger BS, I can just hop into the next one. I got Of Bees and Mist by Eric Sedewan. And I remember this one sounded interesting. It's an engrossing fable that chronicles 3 generations of women under one family tree and places them in a mythical town where spirits and spells, witchcraft and demons and prophets and clairvoyance are an everyday reality. And this was in their clearance section for $3. I really liked the cover, and it sort of, the little branches and roses go over to the back and the front. It just sounded like an interesting read. So, and they also have, this is really faint. It's probably only like a 10-15% shade on there, but they have that same rose vine pattern on that. So it just was a nice looking book, and it was a great price. And plus I had store credits, it was nothing. Yay! This was on the clearance bin also. It's Healer by Carol Casella. This one is Claire Boning's medical career is just about to blossom when her brilliant husband Addison makes a breakthrough medical discovery. His biotech startup strikes gold and their family is catapulted into a life of luxury. She eventually drifts from medicine and decides to leave her promising career to be a stay-at-home mother. However, a risky gamble on a new cancer drug soon sends the couple into irreparable debt, and they must move their family to a dilapidated rural farmhouse in Hallam, Washington. So she goes back to work, that sort of thing. It sounded interesting. I had seen this somewhere, and it's one of the books that I kept sort of dancing around for a while, so I figured, why not? May as well. It looks good. And that was only $3 also. That was back in the clearance. They have like a wall of clearance on the left side. I also got The Art of Hearing Heartbeats. I don't think I got that here. I think this is the last one, and I'm not sure if I went over it or not, so I thought I'd put it in here. This is Jan Philip Sinker, and I'm just barely... I need to invest in bookmarks, I know. I usually just use the flaps or a tissue. God, that's terrible. But I usually read them so fast I don't really commit to buying a actual piece of paper to keep my place. This one is when Julia Wynn's father disappears one morning without a trace the day after her graduation from law school. Her family is left unsettled and confused. It's not until a few years later that her mother finds a piece of the puzzle, an unmailed love letter to a Burmese woman named Mimi. So there's an adventure trying to figure out those puzzle pieces. The cover is amazing. It has some gold detailing. I guess it's more of a copper. More of a copper. It was just one of those books that was so lovely, it sort of jumped out at me. And so far, it's really good. It reminds me a lot of The Interpreter of Maladies, that writing style. So if you enjoyed that book, I'm going to wager a bet that it's going to be very stylistically similar to this, because I'm getting the same sort of emotional and intellectual responses to that, if that makes any sense. You know how you get in that zone of a certain author? That's how that one works. And a little sidebar, because I saw other people were doing this and I completely forgot. The Christmas haul. We didn't really give a lot this year. We decided to sort of allocate our resources elsewhere, and so we didn't focus so much on physical gifts. We decided to do, as a family, we're going to do little mini sort of weekend day trips to get out and about and see things instead of spend money on stuff. But we did allow like a $20 gift sort of range, and my mom tracked down a really cool edition of the Brothers Grimm. She got it from Edward R. Hamilton Books. I will try to find and remember this. My brain's sort of shot today. If I forget, just start pestering me in the comments. Where's the link? Edward R. Hamilton is a bargain bookseller in Connecticut, I think. We get catalogs from them. It's great. They still sell. They still mail printed out their sort of like newspapers, but they just have like book titles, and some of the books are like, it's sort of like the Second and Charles prices, the $2.99, $3.99, $4.99, and then they'll have some more that are rare, up in, like my art books are usually in the 20s, which is still cheaper than what they are in stores because they can be up to 60, so it's pretty massive discounts. Why I liked this one, she had told me she was going to get it, and then she's like, no, I'm not going to get it, and then I saw it and like, you got the book. It's sort of rubbery. Like, it's a rubbery, plasticky... I don't know how to explain it, but this book is a really weird, awesome texture. And it has really great typography in it, so I'm really pleased that she got it. It was published by... Who was it published by? CC. Let's see who that is. Oh, they're Canterbury Classics, and that's out of San Diego. It is just a sweet little book. I'm really happy she picked that one up. I love Grimm and that line, and well, I have to do some Kindle, I guess, reviews sometimes. I do have an iPad, but I refuse to really read off of it, but when I'm traveling, I do pick up a couple classics, and the last one I picked up was some Norse mythology, and it's been really good. My cousin and his family picked me up 2 books. I have never heard of these. They're weird. They're sort of like, where is that book? The one that you could choose your own... I'm going to spin around, sorry. I know it's around here. Here it is. I'm standing in front of it. It was sort of like this one, the little Million Little Mistakes, where you got to choose your own adventure. These are choose your own adventure, but I think you could read them 8 different ways, so you can reread them if you want. They are fairy tales with a twist. This one is Cinderella, Ninja Warrior. I think people might know my style. Their brand is Twisted Tales by Silver Dolphin. I don't even know where they got these, but they were really kind of cool. And I started this one, and it's basically like, oh, poor Cinderella. She has to clean up after everyone, but she found an enchanted Ninja Warrior book and is teaching herself to be a Ninja Warrior. What will she do? Choose this page for this and this page for that. It's really fun. I just pick it up at night and read a little bit, and then I backtrack and reread it. I also think the cover looks like Kristen Bell for some reason. Sort of interesting. And in the set was also Sleeping Beauty Vampire Slayer. And Maureen McGowan wrote these. I think they are a really clever concept, and I've been enjoying them so far. I don't know if there are any more of them, but I think they're going to be a lot of fun. And when I was little, I did love those choose your own ending, or like the path through the book. Choose your own adventures. So I think I'm really going to like those. So those were my mini Christmas hauls. I have one more load that I dropped off at 2nd and Charles, so I'll probably go shopping at the beginning of February. But I do declare my January book hauling is all purchased. And let's see, it's usually starting around March, April is our fantastic used book sales that are my favorite things in the whole wide world. So I'm going to have to go and stalk my list and get a plan of action for that. And those videos will probably be starting in the spring. And heaven knows after this winter, we all need a little bit of spring. Alright guys, I hope you are having a great day. What are you reading? Let me know in the comments below. Is it good? Is it not so good? It could be either, so let me know. Alright, I'll see you next time. Bye.